How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews. Back with yet another review. A little bit of, I don't know, beer time in the form of Wild Haven beer. It is their emergency drinking beer, all-purpose blend. Yeah, look at that label. I love this shit. This beer comes courtesy of Dan. Thank you very much. Dan from Two Oceans Brewing out of Panama. He actually sent me some of his beers, but also sent me some stuff from Atlanta. And you're like, Panama? Atlanta? Why? His brewery's in Panama, but he actually resides out of Atlanta, so he threw a bunch of Atlanta born and bred beers in. Thank you very much, dude. And this one kind of just, I was smitten with it the second it came out of the box, because it's just ghetto as hell. It's about as ghetto as you can get label-wise, and that kind of tickles me pink. What it says in the label is all-purpose blend, emergency drinking beer, Wild Haven Beer, Avondale Estates, Georgia. On the back here, it says, the drinking of necessity, real brewed, all-purpose blend, ready to drink, not to refill, not to reuse, la boisson, necessité, brassée, and it's a bunch of French, I would assume, kind of stuff. And then you have a bit of what looks like either Chinese or Japanese, and then a bit of Spanish, 4% by volume. And that's it. Doesn't say anything else here as far as style or whatnot, or nothing I can see. It was canned on the November 28, 2017, I assume. That's not a Best By date, hopefully. So it's got a couple months on it, this being early April 2018. But, you know, it's a 4% beer, all-purpose beer. I assume it's some kind of lager, Pilsner kind of deal. So, kind of a pseudo-mystery beer, I guess. So, yeah. Put it up there. Already talking about how much I love the label. Give this a pour, see what she's got. So what do we have here? Throw her in there nice and hefty to try to generate a hand on there and try to be all nice and tilt the glass, and then they end up getting a big enough head. Just under a pinky finger of crystal white head on it. Not necessarily creamy, not necessarily rocky, somewhere in between. She's got a real soft haze on her. She looks very kind of like Kolschy, kind of, or even more like a kettle soury. The ever so slightest bit of carbonation. Yeah. She definitely looks like a chugger. Let's see what the nose has. And it does have a bit of crispness to it that actually makes me kind of be like, is this kettle sour? I don't think that's the case. There's a bit of acidity to it with the citrus that's in there. It's very light, though. There's a bit of tartness to it, too. A generic kind of sweetness, a little touch of like a apple, not necessarily like a green apple, just kind of apple vibes in there. So yeah, she could be a Kolsch, she could be a Pilsner, she could be a lager. I think she's a lager base, but at the same time, you know, it could be a little bit of kettle sour going on. I don't know. It's definitely smells small, but in a very kind of inviting, kind of chuggable way. It's the theme here, chuggable. Let's see if she suits in the taste. Yeah, they're definitely not going the kettle sour route here. This is more just, I believe, their take on a small lager-based beer. It's got somewhere between a Pilsner and a Kolsch for me. Kind of floating right in between the two, and kind of be splitting hairs at that point. But that's what I have going on here. I'm assuming it's just kind of an unfiltered, kind of an American version of a Pilsner. A little bit of that dry, slightly funky kind of lager yeast. A bit of soft biscuity malts, and it's very, very, very soft bittering to it. Nothing too crazy. It's super chuggable, super drinkable. It's definitely an all-purpose emergency drinking beer. But yeah, it is exactly what it wants to be, exactly what it's trying to be, which is an all-purpose chugger. Listen, this reeks the way, not reeks as in smells, but reeks of just being, this is a 30 rack. This is what you want out of your 30 rack kind of beer. This is your Jenny Cream Ale of the world. This is those kind of beers, but in a slightly elevated level, to where you know you're drinking something with a bit of substance as opposed to corn and stuff. So yeah, it's nice, chuggable, drinkable. Is it gonna blow me away with all kinds of hops and this and malts and that and all that kind of stuff? No. But what it's gonna do is make me want to drink 30 of them before a Falcons game, or what else do they have down in Atlanta? I don't know. Badminton or something? I don't know. Highline? Is that down there? I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, super chuggable, super drinkable. It's beer. So let's talk about it. It's one of the better small lagers that I've had as of late. Sure. It's neither the best nor the worst. It's somewhere in between, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It actually was somewhere in between the best and the worst. It's definitely drinkable. It's just, it's utilitarian. That in and of itself is a good thing. Value availability, no idea. Maybe somebody out there, either from the brewery or somebody, maybe Dan or somebody down there in the Atlanta region, can let me know what's what when it comes to this beer and leave you with if you like what we like this beer. If you like chuggers, if you like drinkers, if you like Jenny Creams in the world, if you want a utilitarian beer. Not a negative word again. Sometimes beer serves a purpose, and sometimes that purpose is to drink a bunch of them. And that's what this beer facilitates. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers into the Google if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive into the Google or your favorite podcasting app to see me doing the podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're chugging about 30 of these right now, and hope to see you next time. Cheers.